Hello, ladies and gentlemen, racers and race fans from all around the globe. Thank you very much for joining us for another wonderful round here at the Pro-Am Racing Challenge Season 2, brought to you by Omega Sim Racing and our lovely sponsors at Next Level Racing, FAF for the love of the road, and Toronto Racing Simulators. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing, whether you're a watcher, a driver, a spectator, or you're rewatching this in the future. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing to keep the stream going and live. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Nowhere place I'd rather be. Every Tuesday evening, we started on May 6th. We're racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione, of course. We've been to Monza, Alton Park, Brands Hatch, Snetterton, Misano. The Red Bull Ring was last week. Now we're at the semifinals round here at Zandvoort. Finishing things off will be at the Nürburgring, and that will be an epic showdown for sure. Let's head right over into the action and see what the drivers are all up to. It looks like we're seeing some very damp conditions right now, and the track is actually fully wet and should go damp within the next 7 minutes or so. We're seeing rain falling on the race surface and cars diving and dodging around the queue right now. But you can see that the clouds will dissipate within the next 7 minutes or so, and it'll just be cloud coverage, and we'll see if a dry line ends up forming or not here. Ten minutes and 45 seconds left in the qualifying session, folks. We've got plenty of time for the drivers to get out there and get a good one in, just like Ryan Nash has done with a 1:43.710. And we've got Justin Cutler in P2 with a 1:43.970. He's going about 6/10 faster on this lap alone. Wilson Ho in third place, Laszlo Toth in fourth, Corey McNulty in fifth, Nicholas Kindred in sixth, Balwea Isho, Enrique Santos Lopez, Benjamin Hyun, BK, Nate Roberts, Rory Buchanan, Alan Pena, Nilton Diaz, Chris Frazier, Ryan Conrad, KO Jr., and David Johnson, aka Deej Johnson, rounding out the 18 drivers here tonight for the semifinal round. Don't forget to donate to the Sick Kids Charity Foundation. The QR code is in the bottom left-hand side of your screen right now. And that'll be Isho heading back to the pits. Here's Justin Cutler coming through Sector 2 right now. And in through Como. And drifting his way through turn 14. He's looking like a pole position time right now. He's 9/10 up. He's gained an entire second. He will go provisional pole with a 1:42.830. Last lap, best lap, and the man is still out there gaining time. He's up a tenth right now. He was up 2/10 going through Tarzan, but now he lost it. And now coming through turn 2, he's losing a little bit more time, scrubbing it here or there. Ryan Nash 3/10 back. Here's Ryan Conrad in the 8.79. Enrique Santos Lopez crosses the line in 11th place for them, 1:46.822. We just had a rejoin into the session. Not sure whom that is, but everybody got bumped down one down the order. Still Justin Cutler up at the top. Ryan Nash about a half second faster, no big deal. Coming through Hans Ernst Bach. Turn 12 is complex. Now coming into the penultimate corner. And he drifts his way through turn 14 just like Justin Cutler did. That must be the fast way around. Ryan Nash about a second up on his previous best right now. And he's going to get to the line and he's going to snatch away provisional pole. 1:42.255, and the gauntlet has been thrown down by around half a second with 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this session. Here we're looking at Laszlo Toth for the Six Sigma Racing Team. He's going to do something about this lap time. 1:45.442 was his previous best, and he's looking to improve on that by around 2 seconds. Wow, Laszlo Toth showing us what he's made out of tonight, driving this Porsche in these damp conditions. He goes up into 5th place. He is driving out of his league right now. He's up there with the Pro-Ams, 1.2 off the leader's pace. The track is still officially wet, but you can see a dry line forming on the racing surface. And in 7 minutes, the rain will come back, so expect these times to keep on evolving and improving. As the track dries out, the drivers will be going faster and faster. Wilson Ho looking like he's found some improvement as well, coming through the turn 11, turn 12 complex. Go back over to Wilson Ho very quickly as he gets to the final straightaway. Where does Wilson Ho find himself? Up into P2. Wilson Ho also driving out of his skin. 1:42.734. It's not easy to get one over on a guy with a name like Justin Cutler, but Wilson Ho and Ryan Nash have both managed to upset him tonight. Speaking of upsets, there's Corey McNulty into P4 as Nate Roberts snatches away a provisional pole now. The number 6 car, 1:41.782. I'll say that again, 1:41.782. 4/10 faster than Ryan Nash. Wilson Ho with his 1:42.7, 1:42.7 for McNulty, 1:42.8 for Cutler. Keeping an eye on the improving cars right now. Nate Roberts gone yellow, invalidated his lap. He warps back to pit lane. Corey McNulty not gaining enough time to improve on this outing. He's just about nil with his PB. Let's see when he gets to the line. 1:42.777, 1:42.737 is his new personal best. KO Jr. coming through Mastersbach. And turn 9 now. It'll be Laszlo Toth pulling off at turn 1, Tarzan's corner. And that'll be the end of his run, presumably. Zandvoort has a track length of 2.6 miles or 4.2 kilometers, founded in 1948, been the current layout since 2020. We're in Zandvoort, Netherlands. We've got 14 corners, 4 to the left, 10 to the right, with 29 feet of elevation change, or 9 meters, for those of you keeping track at home. Well, it feels a lot more fast and flowy with a lot more dramatic elevation change. It's not seemingly so. And speaking of not so, it's not Alan Pena's opportunity right now as he runs across lap traffic. Not sure whom that was. In the 22, that would be Rory Buchanan, driving number 22 BMW, as he got a little slip and slide at the entrance to Masters Block. Here's Mr. Isho in the FAF GTD car. He's driving the number 220. His best lap was a 142.737. He was improving just a little bit before we cut to him, and maybe that's the curse there. Quick update at the top 3. Ryan Nash, Nate Roberts, Justin Cutler. Why is it always you 3? As Dumbledore would say. Then we have McNulty, KO Jr., Wilson Ho, Belway, Isho, Nicholas Kindred, Chris Frazier. Laszlo Toth down in 10th position at 143, not sticking the way he thought it was. Isho is going to practice his pit entry here. Highly recommend that for all the drivers. Practice, practice, practice your pit stops. Justin Cutler coming through Hans Ernst corner. Up around 0.4 of a second. Not good enough for pole position, but should be enough to find himself on the front row. Cutler gets to the line, and that will be P2, 141.495 for Cutler for Six Sigma Racing. 0.2 back from Ryan Nash up at the front of the grid. Qualifying is about to conclude, and most drivers finishing up their laps right now or on their final lap right now. And there's Chris Frazier, only slow on Tuesday's team. And he is parked at turn 14. That will impede a couple of drivers with the yellow flags trying to make it through that sector. Nicholas Kindred also only slow on Tuesdays. Driving that 787. He looks like he's up a little bit on his time. Benjamin Hyun getting to the line, no improvement to be found. Kindred, what can he produce as he comes around turn 14? Only about a 10th to be gained right now. I'm not sure that'll be enough to get in front of Isho, and it's not. 142.760. What about Nate Roberts for the Bald Eagles? He's got 0.4 in his pocket right now. Can he dethrone Justin Cutler or Ryan Nash from that top spot as he dips a wheel off into the gravel using as much track that he's bought and paid for? Hey, if the designers or developers have engineered that space to be driven on, he's gonna drive on it, and he's only 22 thousandths away from Ryan Nash up at the top of the field, and he gets in front of a man named Justin Cutler. What a great job there. That will conclude the qualifying session. And there is our current timetable.
Alright, we have some wet conditions. Watch out for curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
And let's go ahead and get started with our grid shakedown. In P1, it'll be Ryan Nash with a 141.260, leading the charge, driving number 21 Pfaff Motorsports car. P2 will be Nate Roberts driving the 06 for Bald Eagle Motorsports. He's in a BMW. Then we have Justin Cutler in P3 for Six Sigma Racing, driving the number 35 in third position. Following that will be Corey McNulty, the number 74 Audi driver, in fourth place. Wilson Ho in fifth, driving the 888 Ferrari for Six Sigma Racing. KO Jr., the number 29, in sixth position, 1.4 off the good, and he's in sixth place. Oya Isho in seventh place, the number 220 Porsche driver for Pfaff GTD as well. Nicholas Kindred, the McLaren 878, is in eighth place, and he is only slow on Tuesdays. Chris Frazier driving the number 23, only slow on Tuesdays as well, in ninth place. Laszlo Toth for Six Sigma Racing is going to be in 10th position, driving a Porsche. Benjamin Hyun next in a Porsche as well, the number 38 and 11th for Pfaff GTD. David Johnson, or Deej Johnson, from Bald Eagle Motorsports, driving the number 221 BMW. Ryan Conrad, only slow on Tuesdays, driving the 879 in 13th. BK, you got it, in the number 9 in 14th position. Following that, we have Alan Pena, the number 91, in 15th position. Rory Buchanan, the number 22 car, in 16th place, will be next. Then we have Nilton Diaz in the 111 for Omega Racing Team. Enrique Santos Lopez, the number 77, in 18th position. And following that, we have the fan favorite of Robert Tenente, the number 92 Porsche driver, in 19th spot. Let's check out the leaderboards as it stands. Top 5 drivers after 2 drop rounds going into the semifinals. This is 58 points for Justin Cutler, 48 for Kevin Lee, Ryan Nash with 138, Nate Roberts with 117, tied with Dominic Schumont for that 117 fourth and fifth place spot. We have Justin Cutler driving the Nissan, Kevin Lee in the Ferrari, Porsche, BMW, and a Porsche. Top 5 manufacturers, all a little bit different than you typically see up at the top. That was the pro category. Let's check out the Pro-Ams. It's Wilson Ho with 145, McNulty with 141, Rory Buchanan with 136, BK with 128, Ryan Conrad with 127. Still anybody's ball game here for the Pro-Am division. Of course, this is after 2 drop rounds, and we have 4 different manufacturers in the top 4 here, with BK and Ryan Conrad driving the same Ford Mustang. In the amateur category, David Johnson has a massive 16-point lead over Laszlo Toth with 140 points. Johnny Nickelford with 129, Nathan Baer with 127, Chris Frazier with 123. Things are going to get shaken up here in the amateur division because David Johnson is down in 12th position right now. Check out the weather here at Zandvoort. 21 degrees is the ambient, 28 degrees is the track temperature. Light rain expected. Cloudy throughout the day with mild temperatures. North breeze coming in at 3.8 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts reaching 35 kilometers per hour. Drivers getting set up Noah's Ark formation 2x2 as they come through turn 13 and 14. Ryan Nash will lead the charge in front of Nate Roberts, Justin Cutler, and Corey McNulty on the second row. Ryan Nash controlling the field right now. And green, 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 away we go. Ryan Nash gets a good jump head start, but so does Justin Cutler here in the background. Leapfrogs his way around Nate Roberts, who's trying to go the long way around Justin Cutler, but the outside line stays the outside line for the following corner, so Corey McNulty also has his money cut out for him, and he gets touched, Martin, by Wilson Ho, and race control is definitely going to be looking at that one. Wilson Ho, not much to say there. I think the showcase said it all. KO Jr., David Johnson, Benjamin Hyun, Enrique Santos Lopez, Ryan Conrad. All drivers will have to take a mandatory pit stop for this race. No minimum time required. What I was trying to spit out, and no tires are required. You can go for a 1 liter pit stop, you can go with a light fuel load, take as much fuel as you need to make it to the end, but I think most of the drivers are probably going to stick this one out on these slick tires for as long as possible. Corey McNulty drops down to 17th, 18th position right now behind Milton Diaz and Laszlo Toth. Toth trying to get by Nicholas Kindred here. Chris Frazier in the pit lane already. Not sure what happened to them. The number 23 car. Quick replay of what happened there. Oh, more incidences at turn 1, and that'll be a big hit miss for Chris Frazier, and a long waiting time to get back to his car being repaired. Laszlo Todd's trying to get by Robert Tenente and Nicholas Kindred. Oh, and Tenente having a bit of a moment there coming through turn 5. Up the hill through turn 6. Now to Shivlak. But it's more exciting up here, or just as exciting up here, I should say, at the front of the grid. Ryan Nash leads over Justin Cutler by around half a second. Nate Roberts about a half second back. Noé Isho getting passed by KO Jr. right now. Let's check in with Enrique Santos Lopez and Alan Pena as they go side by side. Enrique Santos Lopez and Alan Pena do touch there, but just barely enough to register any damage. Here's Ryan Conrad in a bit of a hot situation right now. He's got Rory Buchanan, the number 22 BMW, breathing down his neck. But he's also trying to chase Deej Johnson and Benjamin Hyun right in front of him. Benjamin Hyun trying to find wet spots on the track to cool down his tires. Side by side, going the long way around. Tarzan Bach. It'll be David Johnson finding an opportunity and making one stick over Ryan Conrad. Conrad looks to the inside line, opens the door a little bit for Rory Buchanan, and they do touch. Ryan Conrad falls back and gets hustled for his money. The 879 of Ryan Conrad just gets sent into the barrier at Hugenholtz. Back to the front of the grid, right where we left them, just about a half second separating all three of these drivers. Roy Buchanan battling it out with Deej Johnson here. Going up the inside line at Hans Urs. Makes the move stick. Rory Buchanan is through on Deej Johnson. This might be an opportunity for Alan Pena because Deej Johnson was going very slowly through turn 14. Definitely opening up doors and opportunities for Alan Pena to make a move up the inside line, trying to cover it off a little bit there going into Tarzan. Alan Pena tries to go for the switchback, gets the over-under secured, but he can't keep it covered off through turn 2 into 3. Alan Pena is still looking for that inside line opportunity on the 2-2-1. Just can't manage to make anything work just yet. Driving that McLaren BMW is very strong. A bit of a cork in the bottle for Deej Johnson right now. He's going to force Nicholas Kindred and Alan Pena to duke it out side by side, going into turn 8. Up the inside, checks the Only Salon Tuesday team, but no, doesn't go for the jump just yet. A little bit of a mistake there for Nicholas Kindred. Will allow him to go through on Alan Pena potentially through turn 10. Into turn 11, they are going to remain side by side. Ooh, and this could spell disaster here. For the number 91, it is disaster as they, oh no, take out Laszlo Toth with the rejoin. That's never the way you want it to go down, folks. Nicholas Kindred able to get by Deej Johnson going in towards turn 1. Hello, Paulina P. in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for being here and cheering on your favorite driver. Cheering on Alancito. Not sure whom that is referring to. Alan Pena, potentially. Whoa! Crisscross Applesauce, Benjamin Young, and Rory Buchanan going side by side. Buchanan trying to hold on for dear life here. Benjamin Young backs out of that one, wants no piece of that action. Cutler is 3/10 away from that P1 position right now. All he's got to do is stay within touching distance, and we've seen Cutler perform very short pit stops before. We've got lap traffic coming up. That'll be Robert Tenente up next. Rosenho going a little bit slowly, allows KO Jr. to get by. Tenente dips out of the way, lets the leaders drive right on through. Benjamin Hyun still glued to the rear end of Rory Buchanan right now, chasing down the number 22 driver. Things have started to settle down just a little bit here for the Pro-Am Racing Challenge. Drivers find their groove and find their places on the racetrack with the pace that they have. Nolby again on a recovery drive to the top 10 already. Getting bumped back to nearly P last. Young really trying to find that line to cool down those tires. .33 minutes and 30 seconds remaining left on the clock, folks. This battle for the lead is not going to go anywhere. That'll be the number 92 of Tenente. Going back to pit lane. Nope, he's still there. The end of turn 9, it looks like. Rejoins the racetrack in P18. Ooh, definitely finding some grass there is Justin Cutler. Track has officially gone from damp to wet. Drivers on the slower, slick tires might decide to pit sooner rather than later. As the rain plus is only 2 minutes away. Fighting for championship points right now. Beach Johnson in first place in the category, number 91 in second. Laszlo Toth in third. Enrique Santos Lopez in fourth. Milton Diaz, Tenente, and Chris Rachel round out the amateur drivers. In the Pro-Am category, it's Wilson Ho, Bowe Isho, Rory Buchanan, Benjamin Hill, Nicholas Kindred, Corey McNulty, Brian Conrad, and BK. In the Pro category, it's Ryan Nash, Justin Cutler, Nate Roberts, and KO Jr., all nose to tail. Big correction at the wheel there. This will be Laszlo Toth coming down pit lane, presumably to get a change of boots. Oh no! Benjamin Hyun, the FAF GTD car. Let's see what happened to the number 38. I thought that was our race leader for a moment. Oh, and the rejoin. A little sketchy there. Roy Buchanan up the inside line on Isho. That'll allow Nicholas Kindred to follow Roy Buchanan through, or will it? Isho goes a little bit deep to cover off Nicholas Kindred. Now Corey McNulty can see the rest of his pack right in front of him, all the way to Roy Buchanan. Oh, and Isho gets it wrong at Kumho and lets the grid by. McNulty, Kindred, Buchanan find their way through. McNulty, Kindred, Buchanan still all glued together with 26:20 remaining on the clock. Yellow flags out for Robert Tenente. Door opened up just a little bit there for McNulty to stick a nose in on Kindred. Trying to go for the inside line through turn 10, but the door was promptly closed on him. Here's Benjamin Hyun. Oh no, and Benjamin Hyun cooks it, coming through Hans Ern's spot. Alan Pena right now is about 1.3 seconds away from David Johnson. Here's KO Jr., the slowest of the fastest drivers. Never thought I would say that. Justin Cutler going a little slowly on the racetrack. Gap has opened up to Ryan Nash, 4.4 seconds. Nate Roberts working in the background right now, 2 seconds back from Justin Cutler. Wilson Ho still leading the charge for the Pro-Am cars. Only 1 second away from KO Jr., 16.2 seconds in front of Nicholas Kindred. I think all drivers are going a little bit slowly now, except for Rory Buchanan, who's just drifted it through turn 7. I think a lot of these drivers still on the slick tires. There goes Benjamin Hyun again on the brakes, just not getting the traction that he needs. Benjamin Hyun is one of the drivers that I would recommend getting onto the wet tires and seeing what happens. Alan Pena may want to do the same right now because the track is officially wet. KO Jr. and Wilson Ho now next to each other on the racetrack. Separated by just under a second. All I have to say to Wilson Ho right now is just don't be greedy. You don't need this position necessarily. But KO Jr. is complicit in that request. Wilson Ho finds his way through. Laszlo Toth behind the number 220 of Balwe Isho, who is not pit yet, so Isho will not have any obligation to get out of the way of Laszlo Toth. Toth is on the fresher, soft tire compound, not the wet compound. He is driving on the dry set, apparently. You can tell by the yellow banding on the side of the car. There it is, the yellow banding going round and round. McNulty up into 7th place after a big hit early on in the event. Facing down Nicholas Kindred, separated by 3/10 going into Shevlak. JT Sykes, you missed it. Corey McNulty, who was driving out of his skin for qualifying, started the race in P4, had a big old incident with, I believe, Wilson Ho. And Wilson Ho will probably get a post-race penalty for it. I haven't spoken to race control for this event so far, so assuming they're not here tonight. But McNulty on a bit of a recovery drive right now, looking out for P2 in the Pro-Am category. Worked his way from the back of the field to the front of his division. And keeps on chipping away at him. Rory Buchanan just a little bit further back, 2 seconds off of this battle between McNulty and Nicholas Kindred. JT Sykes says, looking like he's on track for another smooth recovery. Absolutely. Great recovery drive out of McNulty. It's one of the things I like about him the most. Is that he just puts his head down and keeps on driving the wheels off the car that he's been given. Doesn't complain, doesn't quit. He might be complaining in his helmet, but we don't hear it. Nicholas Kindred covering off that inside line. McNulty's looking again here at turn 10. All the while, Rory Buchanan closing down on these two as they continue to battle it out. Nicholas Kindred needs to stop driving in his rearview mirror as he goes a little bit deep into turn 12. Gonna slow him down quite a bit into McNulty. McNulty has to back out of that very abruptly. There's David Johnson getting chased down by Alan Pena. That Mustang has nothing to do with this battle. McNulty going for a crisscross applesauce into turn 1, gets the move done, but for how long will it stick? Into turn 2 and turn 3. He goes off into the grass at turn 3, but he holds on to the inside line. Barely in front of Nicholas Kindred right now. He was a half second faster on that previous lap, and he will gap Kindred in just due time. There's no more errors out of you, McNulty. Keep it calm, cool, and collected. Driving the only Audi on the grid tonight. Or all season long, I should say. Definitely doing something different than all the others on the grid. Todd still glued to the rear end of Isho. And this has got to be very frustrating for Laszlo Toth. Or is that Benjamin Hyun? That's Benjamin Hyun he's stuck behind, excuse me. The 11th place car. Because Laszlo already pit and he is clearly faster than the car in front. Just can't find his way past. Moves over to the inside line, coming down the straightaway, and gets the move done and dusted. And now he has clear air in front of him. No Porsche on Porsche violence here tonight. Just blue flags waving from the marshals to let Laszlo Toth know he is in front of Benjamin Hyun. But I think Laszlo is very well aware of that situation right now and is trying to gap him to get those annoying blue flags to go away. Ryan Conrad stuck in a hard place right now and trying to open up the door for Pena. Pena not going for it here. Now the gap is opened up to 2.3, 2.6 seconds between Alan Pena and Rory Buchanan, David Johnson. Benjamin Hyun stops for a quick pit. 5.7 seconds, rolls back out again. If I was Alan Pena right now, I would be flashing my headlights like a mother right now. And Pena goes off at turn 12, cooks it under the braking, and that'll be more time lost to David Johnson. Here's Chris Frazier. And Isho, I presume. Well, that will be Benjamin. Yes, that is Isho. Chris Frazier, one of the last Pro-Ams, Ams, to take a pit stop. And there goes Isho off the racetrack. Unleashes Chris Frazier into clear air. Isho right now running in 5th place overall in his category. Rundown of the order is Ryan Nash, Justin Cutler, Nate Roberts, Wilson Ho. Those are top 4. Teo Jr., McNulty, Kindred, Rory Buchanan comes into pit lane. David Johnson, Alan Pena, Balwea Isho. There's your top 11. Benjamin Hyun, BK, Ryan Conrad, Laszlo Toth, Milton Diaz, Chris Frazier, Robert Tenente, Enrique Santos Lopez. Rounding out the 19 drivers participating tonight, and there goes Chris Frazier dipping the wheel off into the gravel at turn 14. Manages to keep the car beneath him and keeps on keeping on. Triple One's cooking it pretty heavily at turn 10. Behind Corey McNulty trying to follow his line. That's not going to work out. McNulty decides to come down pit lane. He'll jump first in front of Wilson Ho. Looked like a good pit stop for McNulty. Nicholas Kindred also stopping for their mandatory pit with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining left on the clock. KO Jr. running in 4th place, coming through turn 12. Now he dives down pit road, KO Jr. does. Quick pit stop for Nate Roberts, 4.1 seconds. Not sure what happened there to KO. Quick pit stop for McNulty, Buchanan, Nicholas Kindred. Everybody staying out on the same tires at the start of this race with. KO Jr. gets a stop go 30, speeding in the pit lane. And that'll really throw a wrench in this championship. Justin Cutler is in and into pit lane. So is Isho. Buchanan trying to cover off Kindred's attacks going into turn 11. Five-second penalty given to Alan Pena. Not sure for what now. Not sure what he could have done to gain a 5-second penalty, to be honest. Gap was close. Coming through turn 1 between these two drivers, now sitting around 0.8 of a second. Last car remaining to pit will be Ryan Nash. And he is into pit lane as we speak. Serves his mandatory, gets a quick 3.3 seconds stationary. Rolls right back out into the racing field. Ryan Nash, Justin Cutler, Nate Roberts, Wilson Ho, Ko Jr., McNulty, Rory Buchanan, Nicholas Kindred, David Johnson, Alan Pena. Benjamin Hyun, Belwea Isho, BK, Ryan Conrad, Laszlo Toff, Milton Diaz, Robert Tenente, Chris Frazier, and Enrique Santos Lopez. Rounding out the 19 drivers we have here tonight. Ko Jr. comes down pit road to serve that stop-go 30 that he inherited for speeding in the pits. Matthew Egan here is cheering for Justin Cutler. And what happened to our leader? Ryan Nash seems to have disappeared off the leaderboard, giving everybody a promotion now. Justin Cutler inherits P1, Nate Roberts 2, Wilson Ho into 3rd, McNulty into 4th. And Rory Buchanan cooks it going into turn 9. That will allow Nicholas Kindred to find his way by. And did Ko Jr. get another stop-go 30 into pit lane? Because he still has that thing attached to his name. It wasn't looking good for Justin Cutler for the beginning and the middle of the race. Ryan Nash had him dead to rights, but dropped out of the official standings for some reason. So Justin Cutler has inherited P1, and he will take turn 11 for the final time as the race leader and winner. Justin Cutler for Six Sigma Racing. Can anybody stop this man from winning these championships? Going into the finale will be next week, folks. Don't miss it. We're racing around the Nürburgring. Can't wait to see you next week, but Justin Cutler wins this week, and he is finished after 26 grueling laps around Zandvoort. Nate Roberts for Bald Eagle Motorsports in P2 will cross the line in second place. Wilson Ho in third place overall, claiming a podium for the overall, as well as first place in his division. Wilson Ho driving the wheels off the 888 Six Sigma racing car. Did a great job to bring this one home. Corey McNulty will bring home P4 and P2 in his championship standings. Nicholas Kindred in P3 for his division. Rory Buchanan in P4 for his division in the Pro-Ams. Deej Johnson bring home P1 for the amateurs, And following very closely, but not close enough, is going to be Alan Pena in P2 for the amateurs. Benjamin Hyun in 9th place overall. Isho in 10th place and KO Jr. in 11th position. BK in 12th. Laszlo Toth in 13th. Ryan Conrad in 14th. Nilton Diaz in 15th. Robert Tenente in 16th. Chris Frazier in 17th. Enrique Santos Lopez in 18th. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Really appreciate all the love and support from Paulina, JT Sykes, Matthew Egan. Thank you very much for joining us and participating in the chat. This has been the Omega Sim Racing Pro-Am Racing Challenge Season 2 semifinal, because we have the finale coming up at the Nürburgring next week. Same time, same place, everybody. Expect to see you there. Thank you very much to our sponsors, FAF for the Love of the Road, Toronto Racing Simulators, and Next Level Racing, giving out a grand prize of Next Level Racing haptic feedback 8 chair. Can't wait to see you for the finale and decide who is going to be the king of all kings. Have a wonderful night, and as always, make sure you stay safe.